Welcome to the Bill Mitchell Chat Show. Today my guest is Kara Bartley, who has just published her third book. Kara, what is the title of your third book?
The title is Call of Adhara.
Tell me a little bit about it, the synopsis.
Sure. The story is about a young woman who grew up in the Niagara region, who left the area to go to England when her father got a working position in England when she was 12, and the story picks up when she's 33 and she's returning to the area, and she doesn't know why, but something is calling her to this part of the world, is bringing her back, memories are bringing her back, and there's something haunting calling her back to this part of the world. Mm-hmm. So she flies into Toronto and she picks up a friend of hers that she went to school with in England. And the two of them toodle on down to this part of the world where she's coming to look at a house that she'll be renting. And that's when things get cooking. That's when the story really picks up.
Great. Yesterday you had a book launch. How did that go?
It was very successful. We had a great day. Beautiful weather to start with. We had a great turnout. We had almost 200 people come to it. Great representation. A few dignitaries, Mayor Ted Salcy and Kim Crater. It was just wonderful. Rob Nicholson's wife, Arlene, she was there also. So we had a great time. It was just really nice to see the support from the community and friends and family and everyone. So it went really well.
Well, I'm really happy to hear that. What is your background? I know you're a local girl and you went to school here.
I did. I'm from the area. My background is actually in paleontology, vertebrate paleontology specifically. I was going to the university at Buffalo, and that's where I did my research. I went out to Kansas actually and started digging out there with my professor, and that's actually where I came up with the idea for my first novel. Yeah.
So you were on an archaeological dig when the idea came to you. I think that's great. Yeah, that's wonderful. So how did you get started in writing?
How did I get started? I loved writing when I was a little girl. I absolutely loved creative writing. I used to make little books myself in my room and stuff. And I was always a librarian when I played with my friends out in the backyard and made little library cards and stuff like that. How I got really started, how it left me, and I always was fascinated with dinosaurs and that sort of thing, as most kids are, and but I actually really wanted to study it, so I went to school to study that, and when I was in Kansas doing my research, I found myself digging during the day, and then at night I would just come home, and I had this premise for a story, and I thought, well, let's just build on that, and I started writing this story and what turned out to be my first novel, The Siamese Mummy.
So how did you get your book published?
I actually self-published all 3 novels, so they're all done under my business name. And the company that I'm with right now is actually in Kitchener, called Volumes, and I published with them. So everything is done under my business name. I'm actually in control of everything that I do. It's all done through me creatively, but everything is actually published and distributed through a company in Kitchener. Yeah.
Well, that's a real demonstration of initiative. I think that's just absolutely wonderful.
Thank you.
So, you've had 3 books published. Yes. What will you be working on next?
I am actually working on my 4th novel. I just started it.
Really?
It's actually a sequel to my first one, The Siamese Mummy, and I would actually like to make a series out of the first one. I left it open-ended so that I would come back to it. So.
I wanted to ask you about your first 2 books. So the first one's called The Siamese Mummy.
The first one is called The Siamese Mummy. It's more Egyptology. It's all about a mummified cat that comes to a museum in Kansas. That's where I was when I was writing it. And with this mummified cat comes a very large panther-like animal, started preying on the people of the community surrounding the museum. So that's what that's all about. It's a mystery novel. My second novel, I really pulled information from my research I was doing also in Kansas and Nebraska. And in fact, this one is based in Nebraska. And it's all about paleontologists around the world. As part of a global event, they start unearthing very strange fossils around the world, and it turns into an action-adventure thriller. Yeah.
That's unbelievable. So, where can someone purchase your books? Are they in the bookshops?
The books actually can be purchased through my website, which is www.theivoryowl.com, and that will actually take you right up to the publishing house in Kitchener, where they will distribute the novel.
So I just want to spend a moment going back to your first book, The Siamese Mummy.
Yeah.
That's an unbelievable name, I think. And strange that you mentioned Egyptology. Have you studied Egypt? Are you an Egyptologist?
No.
No.
No, but I'm fascinated with the whole area. I think it's just I think it fascinates a lot of people. The Siamese part actually comes from just me owning Siamese cats all of my life, and I wanted to write a very interesting story about them. And I know they're from the Orient, but I just sort of put the two together, and out came the Siamese Mummy. Yeah.
Well, that's strange, you publishing a book about Egyptology, because I've been to Egypt.
You have?
Yeah, my wife and I went there.
Me something.
Yeah, it's a magical place.
Yeah.
And you talk about cats. The ancient Egyptians worshipped cats.
Yeah.
And they mummified cats.
Yes.
And
that was a big part of my book.
Egypt is a magical place, honestly. It really is. So I wish you all the very best of luck.
Thank you.
And you certainly deserve it. I think it's so refreshing to meet a wonderful young woman who is also very talented.
Oh, thank you.
Most people are quite happy just having one book published in their life, but here you've had 3 published. I think that's absolutely incredible.
Thank you. I've had fun. It hasn't seemed like work to me at all. I've really enjoyed doing it.
Well, I'm sure I'll have fun reading your 3rd book.
Thank you.
So thank you very much, Kara. And thank you, viewers.